What if some of the most important health warnings after age 70 don't feel dangerous at all? Not chest pain, not collapse, not an emergency. Sometimes it starts with something so ordinary that most people ignore it completely, feeling colder than usual, losing interest in food, forgetting words more often, or suddenly feeling exhausted after simple daily tasks. And that's exactly why many serious health problems in older adults are detected later than they should be. Because the body often whispers long before it screams. In today's video, we're breaking down 11 doctor-recognized health risks that become more common after 70, including subtle warning signs many families miss until much later. Some of these may be harmless, some may deserve a conversation with a doctor, but all of them are worth understanding, and stay until the end. Because several of the final warning signs are often mistaken for just normal aging, when they may deserve closer attention. Aging changes the body in ways that are completely natural, but natural does not always mean harmless. After 70, the heart, brain, lungs, kidneys, muscles, immune system, and even hydration signals begin working differently than they did decades earlier. That means symptoms can appear in unusual ways. Well, a urinary infection may show up as confusion. Dehydration may look like fatigue. A heart problem may begin as reduced walking speed. This video is not meant to create fear. It's meant to help people notice patterns earlier, ask better questions, and support healthier aging with awareness. Let's begin. Point 1. Unusual fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. One of the most overlooked warning signs after 70 is fatigue that feels deeper than ordinary tiredness, not the kind that comes after a busy day. The kind where even after sleeping, energy still feels missing. Simple routines, showering, getting dressed, preparing breakfast, begin to feel unusually demanding. This matters because persistent fatigue can sometimes reflect changes in heart function, oxygen delivery, thyroid activity, blood sugar balance, or anemia. In older adults, the body often reduces activity quietly when something internal needs attention. Many people assume I'm just getting older, but when fatigue changes suddenly, lasts for weeks, or limits normal life, it deserves evaluation, because aging itself should not suddenly erase daily strength. Point 2. Changes in walking speed or balance. A slower walking pace is often one of the earliest measurable indicators doctors watch closely in aging adults. Why? Because walking depends on multiple systems working together: brain, muscles, nerves, vision, circulation, joint stability. When someone begins walking slower than their normal baseline, taking smaller steps, hesitating during turns, or avoiding stairs, it can signal much more than stiffness. It may reflect muscle loss, inner ear changes, early neurological decline, medication effects, or reduced cardiovascular endurance. Many major health events are preceded by subtle mobility decline months earlier, and often families notice it before the person notices it themselves. Point 3. Loss of appetite. Without clear reason, appetite naturally changes with age, but a significant drop deserves attention. When food suddenly becomes less appealing, portions shrink, or meals are skipped repeatedly, several systems may be involved: digestive slowing, medication side effects, depression, taste changes, dental discomfort, or hidden illness. In older adults, appetite loss can quickly lead to muscle weakness, frailty, dehydration, immune decline. Even mild under-eating over several months can have major consequences after 70, because recovery becomes slower when nutrition falls behind. Point 4. Increased confusion. During ordinary situations, not all confusion means dementia, but sudden changes in clarity should never be ignored. A person who normally manages conversations well may suddenly become disoriented in familiar places, forgetful beyond usual patterns, slow to answer, or unusually withdrawn. Sometimes this has nothing to do with permanent brain disease. It may be caused by dehydration, infection, poor sleep, low oxygen, medication interactions. In older adults, even mild infections can affect thinking before fever appears. That is why sudden confusion often needs medical attention sooner rather than later. Point 5. Feeling cold more often than before. A persistent sense of being colder than usual can reveal important body changes, especially if others in the room feel comfortable. This can be linked to circulation changes, thyroid slowing, reduced muscle mass, lower calorie intake, or anemia, because muscle helps generate heat, and after 70, muscle naturally declines unless actively maintained. The body's ability to regulate temperature becomes less efficient with age. That means new cold sensitivity may reflect deeper metabolic shifts. Point 6. Breathlessness. During light activity, shortness of breath should always be taken seriously when it changes from normal baseline, especially if it appears during activities that were previously easy, walking indoors, getting dressed, talking while moving, or climbing a few steps. This may involve heart efficiency, lung elasticity, fluid balance, or anemia. The body often compensates quietly for months before symptoms become obvious, which is why subtle breathlessness deserves attention early. Point 7. Frequent nighttime urination. Waking once at night may be normal, but repeated nighttime urination can affect far more than sleep. It may contribute to falls, fatigue, blood pressure instability, daytime confusion. It can also signal blood sugar changes, prostate issues, bladder changes, heart fluid shifts. After 70, disrupted sleep itself becomes a health risk because poor sleep increases inflammation and weakens memory. Point 8. Bruising more easily. Skin becomes thinner with age. That part is normal, but bruising that suddenly becomes frequent may suggest blood vessel fragility, medication effects, vitamin deficiencies, or blood clotting changes, especially when bruises appear without clear injury. This deserves medical review if the pattern changes. Point 9. Reduced grip strength. Grip strength is now widely used in aging research because it reflects whole body health surprisingly well. Difficulty opening jars, carrying groceries, or holding objects steadily may indicate muscle loss, nerve decline, arthritis progression, or reduced resilience. Grip decline often appears before broader physical weakness becomes obvious. Point 10. Voice becoming softer or less clear. A softer voice is often dismissed as harmless aging, but speech changes can reflect respiratory weakness, muscle fatigue, neurological changes, or medication effects. When someone speaks less, pauses more often, or sounds weaker than usual, the body may be conserving effort. Speech requires more muscle coordination than most people realize. Point 11. Sudden weight loss. Unintentional weight loss after 70 deserves attention even when small, because older adults lose muscle faster than younger adults, and muscle loss directly affects balance, immunity, recovery speed, strength. Even 5 pounds can matter significantly depending on body size. If you noticed any of these signs, don't panic, but don't ignore them either. Small changes can sometimes be the body's way of asking for attention, and after 70, early awareness often makes a real difference. If this video was helpful, leave a comment and share which point stood out to you most. Take care of yourself, take care of the people you love, and I'll see you in the next video.